Have you ever sat inches away from a moving train? Well, in today's vlog, I'll be experiencing just that. So if you enjoy, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Now let's get into it. So we are sat down here on the south side of Train Street. Here it comes. Jesus, it's loud. There's lots of tourists coming to try the famous Banh Mi. What I believe it is just lots of paintings and illustrations on the side of the old railway track. We have arrived at the Hoa Lo Prison. Some prisoners that are on the death sentence managed to squeeze through this underground sewer. So I've now got to take a message from the bang tree. So we've now got to work out how we cross to the other side of Train Street. If you ever come to Hanoi, it's a must do. Good morning Vietnam and welcome back to another vlog here in Hanoi, the capital, where today we're going to be having another action-packed day, starting off with going to see Train Street, which is a street full of cafes right by a train track where we'll hopefully sit down, have a drink and watch a train pass right in front of our faces. Then we're going to be going off to the Hoa Lo Prison, which basically used to hold Vietnamese revolutionaries and Americans during the two wars. And then we're heading over to the Old Quarter to see the largest and most famous market here in Hanoi, the Xuan Market, before finally heading over to the Phung Mural Street to see lots of impressive art. So let's get going. This morning we're actually heading to the south entrance of Train Street because we've heard that the normal entrance to it can get very touristy and all the cafes try and sort of drag you in, whereas in the south side you can actually go and pick a cafe yourself. It's already manic. I've seen loads of bikes and cars on this road. It's actually quite quiet compared to the one we just crossed, but then no one really listens to the traffic light rule. Like half the people do and half the people don't. So you have to just be careful that you're not just going to get hit by a bike or a car out of nowhere. Here it is. This is Train Street with all the bars, cafes and restaurants alongside the track. But hopefully a train should be coming down very shortly. So we're going to find somewhere to sit down, have a drink and maybe some food, and then watch the train go by right in front of us. We are sat down here on the south side of Train Street and the train's coming very shortly, but we have ordered a 7-Up and a Diet Coke, both costing 30,000 each, which is about £1 each. So it's actually not too expensive, whereas if you go further up the touristy areas, I've heard that it can be pretty expensive and very busy, whereas right now it is quite quiet. There is obviously a tour group just walking past now, so it will get a little bit busier, but I can see him packing away the tables now, so we need to get ready for the train. The barriers are down, so it should be coming any second now. Here it comes. Oh, Jesus, it's loud. Oh my God. That is so close. Jesus Christ! God, how big's the train? And there it goes. Wow, that was closer than I thought that was going to be. Oh, I've got cramp in my leg. But that was so cool. I don't even know what's just happened, to be honest. My foot is killing because it ran over my foot. No, I was joking, it didn't really. But no, what an experience. You've got to try it because it's actually crazy. We got here at the perfect time and it's definitely not too busy down here either. Look how empty it is. So you can find a seat really easily on this south section. I'll put a little map up to show you whereabouts we are. But yeah, God, that was good fun. So we finally have time for some food. So I'm going to try one of these pockies, which you may have seen in yesterday's vlog, that we bought from the supermarket. It's basically like what I think they're called poppets. I'm not 100% sure if they're called poppets or not, but let's give one a taste because it's cookies and cream flavour. I'm not going to lie, I'm never impressed with these. I always think that there's too much breadstick to the flavour ratio. So all I'm tasting really is breadstick with a very slight tint of cookies and cream. So the plan now is to walk up Train Street until we get to the Old Quarter. We might stop off at the hotel quickly and drop a couple of things off. But this is a really cool street. There's loads of bars, restaurants. It's like its own sort of street itself, even though there is a massive train track right down the centre. It is horrific that the trains run over all these birds though, every time. It's a good spectacle though. We have finished with Train Street and it is definitely worth doing it. You have to go and visit it and grab a drink and come to the south side because it is not busy at all. But we've now got a grab taxi into the old town, which is about 34,200 dong, which comes to around £1.09. So like I said, everything here is so cheap to do. And that was yet another activity done for just £2, and that was because we got a couple of drinks. So we've come back to the old town and it is now time to have some breakfast. So we've got our Hungry Hippo cereal yogurt. We've gone for the strawberry one to start with. So it looks like you take the top off. I've already taken the spoon out, which is good. So I was a bit worried that I wasn't going to have a spoon and I was going to have to try and somehow drink it to eat it. But let's give it an open. Oh God, it's very liquidy. How liquidy that yogurt is. Don't know if you can see that. Could go everywhere, this. Right, here we go, let's try it. Or maybe it's meant to be milk. No, it might actually be meant to be milk, I don't know. Tip that in. There we go. Looks quite good. Oh. Looks very nice. Now let's give it a try. So dip it in. That actually tastes really good. It tastes like, do you know those Muller's Corners yogurts? It's like one of them. It tastes very nice, so we're going to enjoy this for just for sort of 10-15 minutes and then we'll go and explore the old quarter. So I've left Beth for about 2 minutes while I go and eat my breakfast, and she's already come back with a purchase for 60,000, which is around £2. It started off at 200,000, she said, which is about £7, but it's basically a card which, as you open it up, it pops up a little red boat there. So Beth's grandma loves reds. Looks pretty cool too, so I bet she'll enjoy this when it arrives in the post. Now walking into the old town, taking a look inside lots of different shops. Been asking about the prices of clothes, and again, stupidly cheap, like £3-4 for a top, and it actually felt like good quality too. So we might have to make a few purchases. Beth was saying that we should fly back to here at the end and just buy a load of stuff and take it back in a suitcase, because all these clothes shops have suitcases in the shops too, so I'm guessing that's probably what a lot of people do, is buy a suitcase or something and send some clothes back home, because it's just so cheap here. And we've seen loads of those almost like Kingsman style shops where it's got where you can get fitted suits, and I wonder how much that would be, because I've got a wedding coming up when I get home, so maybe I should get a fitted suit just before I leave. Come to the Banh Mi 25 restaurant, which Beth will show you around now. She'll give you a quick pan. It's quite crowded in here and there's lots of tourists coming to try the famous Banh Mi. So got 3 in the end: mushroom, pork and tofu. All 3 of them look absolutely delicious, and we're going to take a chunk out of the pork one just to see what it's like. So I'm having the pork, Beth's having the tofu, and then we're sharing the mushroom. That is really tasty. Definitely recommend trying these. It's really fresh. The pork's cooked really nicely too. So we're going to enjoy our food. I'm not actually sure on the price. I think it's between 35 and 40. But we also got a bottle of water. So it'll probably come to around 150. I'll have to check the price at the end and I'll let you know. So there it is, the Banh Mi restaurant. Absolutely incredible, the food. So I definitely recommend going. It was about 120,000 too, which is £3.80 for 3 sandwiches and a bottle of water. In the UK, it'd be £3.50 just for a meal deal. So to have 3 sandwiches all at £3.80, that is beautiful. The next stop now is the Dong Xuan Market, the biggest market here in Hanoi. And here we go. So it is an indoor market, this one. And already you can see loads of sweets and food. So hopefully they have clothes and other things a little bit further in. Quite a few different floors, so it's probably floors with different things. Got a nice little water fountain here in the centre. Loads and loads of designer stuff. Well, fake designer stuff too. So I can see Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Prada and much more. There's so many shops here. So it's going to take us a while to look around. Walking around and finding out that a lot of it's actually for wholesale rather than retail, but it is really cool seeing all the different clothes. And then there's another section just to the right of us which is actually for fabric But look at it all, it's crazy, it's massive, this place. The Xuan Market is a really cool spectacle to see. There wasn't much that we could buy / wanted to buy in there, but it is cool just to look inside and see how the wholesale all works, and just how cheap everything is too. It's mad. The next stop on the agenda is the Phung Mural Street. So we've been looking forward to seeing all the artwork there, and it's about a 5-minute walk from the market. What I believe it is just lots of paintings and illustrations on the side of the old railway track, but it looks pretty cool. It'd be a really good spot for like influencers to get like photos in front of them. I don't think it's that big, because obviously these ones haven't really got too much on them. But I don't know which artist did them either, whether there were specific artists for each one. Can't really see. There we go. So we found out a little bit more here. So I believe this must be the artist up here. This is the name of his piece of work, and then it's sort of like a little explanation of what they have done. So this one is called The Kiss, which is pretty cool. It's basically made out of a load of mosaic tiles. So if I get a little bit closer, loads of tiles have been put together to make a picture. It is impressive, honestly. When I see stuff like this, I think, God, I am awful when it comes down to creativity. So that is the Mural Street, which is pretty cool to see, and if you love your artwork, that is a great place to go. But now we're going to be heading over to the Hoa Lo Prison. So this has been the thing that I was second most looking forward to. So hopefully it should be pretty cool to see inside. It's a little bit further now, so we've ordered a grab for 33,280 dong, which is again about £1, and that should take us straight to the entrance. We have arrived at the Hoa Lo Prison in the Mason Central, and we've just bought our tickets, which came to 100,000 dong. I nearly said bot again. So that is about £3.18. So again, really reasonable to do any of the activities here, but let's go and take a look inside. So this is cell D, which used to hold revolutionary Vietnamese soldiers who tried to basically uprise against the French. We used to get around 100 people in here, which is actually crazy. The toilet block, and they used to have to go to the toilet in front of all of the other inmates. Cell E, where the French used to jail all of the male political prisoners. The dungeon, where they used to confine prisoners who broke the regulations of the prison. So these prisoners were jailed on their own and had to relieve themselves and eat on the spot. Prisoners used to use the bark and the leaves from this almond tree to help cure diseases, and then eat the almonds to hopefully improve their health while they're in here. On December the 24th, 1951, some prisoners that are on the death sentence managed to squeeze through this underground sewer to escape the prison, and did manage to actually do so and get back into the resistance, but I don't think I could probably get my head through that, to be honest. Here's an example of a prison cell where the female prisoners were kept. Children were also kept with their parents here in this prison. These are the condemned cells where people used to be waiting for death row. The guillotine used to behead all of the different political prisoners. So we've just walked around the section which is telling us all about the Vietnamese War, and it was actually really interesting learning about it because I don't know anything about it whatsoever, but it was basically north of Vietnam versus south of Vietnam, and loads of global powers got involved like the US, Russia, China, etc. So they used to also imprison the US pilots of war. That's what they was called it here too, but they were treated a lot better than the Vietnamese, and it was to try and encourage people from the US to give good reports on the Vietnamese. So I've now got to take a message from the bang tree to me, so I need to pick one. I'm going to go for the high one. See what this says. There we go. I'll tell you what Beth says after because it's quite funny. Why is this so hard to open? I don't want to rip it. Right, there we go. Finally managed to get it open. Right, it says, unwavering in one's beliefs or goals, maintaining a strong commitment despite challenges. Sounds like what I'm doing right now, trying to be a YouTuber. But Beth's was completely unwilling to change a decision, opinion, or demand. So it couldn't be more correct. And what a day we have had. So we are back in the room now, getting ready for the evening, but I definitely recommend everything which we did today. Maybe the market was probably the lowest on the list, and the top of the list was that train at the start of the day. Honestly, I would never experience anything like that again anywhere. But the final prison was really interesting, so I definitely recommend going there. It was much better than all the museums and stuff which we've seen so far. It had loads of information, loads of boards telling you exactly what the prison was for and which inmates were going in them. It's all really cheap too, which is what I love so far about Hanoi. And I have to say, it is going up in the ranks to being one of my favourite places, which I've been to so far. But like I said, we're now just going to chill in the room for a little bit. I'm going to get some video editing and rendering done, and then we're going to head back into Hanoi town to go for food this evening. So we're hopefully going to check out Train Street again, but the actual main section of Train Street, which is a lot busier. We actually drove past it earlier and it was full of tourists. So we're really happy that we went to the south side, as it was nice and quiet there and you could get a seat really easily. So yeah, now it's time to have a shower and get ready. Changed and ready to go back down into Hanoi now. We'll probably head over to the Train Street to begin with and then go and find our restaurant for the evening. This here is the main train street. It looks beautiful. It's got loads of lights up too as it is starting to get dark. We might actually stop here for a drink. We're just thinking about it now. It is slightly more expensive than where we were sat before, but it is still very pretty and there aren't any trains coming down until 9:20 and it's now like 6, so we're definitely not going to see another train. So we've now got to work out how we cross to the other side of Train Street through this absolute manic traffic. There's a lady that's doing it right now who's going through the centre. I think you just got to power through and people will stop for you. There's an opening. Oh, we're through. Oh, not quite. There we go. Look at how cool this is. It's got like loads of seating around tables and little booths. Quite cool because some of the cafes here have actually got balconies up at the top, so you'll be able to see the train from above. So maybe that would have been a good idea to do. So it looks like the further on you go, the quieter it gets, but it doesn't actually mean that it's cheaper in price, because Beth was looking at the prices and it's actually getting more expensive as we go out for some reason, which is strange. So we are going to head back into the main area for a quick drink and maybe a little snack, I don't know. And then we'll head over to the restaurant for dinner. We decided to get a drink up in one of the balconies just to see what the view is like, and I'd definitely go at the bottom rather than the top if a train is coming, but it is really cool to sort of watch the world go by. And it's like balconies on the other side too. It's just a really cool street, and if you don't go to this street then you're doing something wrong. If you ever come to Hanoi, it's a must do because it's definitely one of our highlights of the trip so far. We've ordered a beer Viet, not tried one of these yet, and a Strongbow dragon fruit. Interesting flavour choice there from Beth, but they only had dragon fruit or pineapple left, so she went for dragon fruit in the end. But we're going to give this one a quick try, the beer Viet, because I've obviously not tried this yet, so here we go. Oh, that one's not quite as nice as the one that I had yesterday. I can't remember what was the name of the one I had yesterday. Hanoi, it was Hanoi beer, wasn't it? But it's not quite as good as the one I had yesterday. We're going to try some of Beth's Strongbow dragon fruit too, because I think it's going to taste a bit like kiwi. Oh, that's quite nice actually. That's quite nice. I don't know what that tastes like. It's maybe a bit melony. Do you know when you have like a melon drink? I think that's actually really nice. That's nice and refreshing. So I'll definitely rate that above the beer. The beer did come to 40 though, so it was cheaper. So it was 40,000, whereas this was 50,000 dong. So overall, about 90,000, which is about £3. So we had a lovely drink, and now we are heading over to Po, which is our restaurant for the night. Keep having to look on the floor though, because it's so hard to walk around here with all the train track and the stones. So here we are sat in the Co restaurant, and I've ordered chicken in bamboo, which actually looks really cool. So it's basically a bamboo tube, and I'm pretty sure they cook it with the bamboo tube and the chicken inside, and then they take it out, which is why it's got like burn marks on it. You might be able to see there underneath, but we'll give it a try anyway and see what we think of it. I can grab some. I think it's like teriyaki sauce or something, but whatever the sauce is, tastes absolutely beautiful. So very happy with that. When Beth's arrives, we'll do a quick video of that too to show you. I'm not sure on prices. This one was 145,000, but there is also an 8% service charge. So I'll tell you all about the price at the end. Beth's food has now arrived and looks really tasty. She's got the mock chicken curry. We won't try any of this today. We'll let her enjoy that. But the spring rolls have arrived too, so we'll give one of these a try. Dip it into the sauce. Don't actually know what sauce that is, because usually it's like a what's it called? A sweet chili sauce. That's it, a sweet chili, but it's a different chili completely to usual. Very hot. Quite nice though, but I've definitely had better spring rolls than these. Finished the food and it actually tasted really good. It came to 422,000 in the end, which is just over £13 again, so really cheap meal too. We've budgeted like £120 a day, and we're spending literally half, if not less than half. So we're really happy with that, saving lots of money for if you want to go to other places later on. There's a bike that's ringing the bell at me to try and get me to go in the seats. So basically there's loads of these bikes that have like a two-seater on the front that I'll show you now. It's just cycled off. But they always try and get your attention to try and get on the bikes, but no one ever wants to go on them. The next thing on the list is to get some snacks for tomorrow, as we are heading on a 6-hour bus to Sapa. So we're going to find a supermarket and then head back to the hotel room. Well, I've been a Wally and I've forgotten my bum bag. Thankfully it's got nothing valuable in it. It's only got the camera case and some hand sanitizer, and that's it. But we're heading back now to go and collect the bum bag, and then we'll make our way back to the hotel. But we have managed to get some food, which is good. And that is a relief, as we are back in the hotel with the bum bag and nothing taken out of it. So really happy with that. Co-restaurant, thank you very much. It did come at the cost of 33,280 dong though, as we had to get a taxi then from the restaurant back to the hotel because it was just too much effort to do the long walk again. So that was just over £1. But let me show you some of the goodies which we have got. So firstly, start off on this side, we've got some vanilla croissants, which looks quite tasty. So we'll give that one a try tomorrow, see what we think. I got some dairy milk chocolate, as I've been craving some chocolate for a couple of days now. We've got the Stacks Original, some more of those crisps, some Oreos. So a Cocoa Crunch bar. So Cocoa Crunch is the cereal that we've been having fairly recently, and Beth's got the bar for that. So that's like a kind of breakfast bar almost. And then some BioBar Active Probiotic Gummy Bears. Now, they're not mine. I don't know why Beth's got them, but she's meant to help with the gut. So we'll have to see what they're like. But they're yogurt flavoured, and yogurt flavour for me is never a good sign. So not going to be eating any of those. But they came to about 120,000, so around £4 in total for all of that. So yeah, that is going to be it for this vlog. So I do hope you all enjoyed it, because I certainly enjoyed today. I had a really good time, especially at the train street and the prison too. They were two of my highlights for sure. So if you did all enjoy this one though, do smash that like button and subscribe if you want to see some more of this kind of content. It goes a long way to supporting the channel too. And I'll see you all tomorrow.